Good evening and welcome to another episode of the What a Man podcast. I am Tana Shaw, and joining me tonight, all the way from Fort Wayne, Indiana, is recording engineer and producer scoobstacks. How
Yeah,
you?
pretty good. How you feeling?
How are you?
Pretty good. How you feeling? Can't
I'm
complain.
good. I want to number one thank you for agreeing to be a guest because we already had talked about this a long time ago and
Mhm.
you were pretty busy then. And so thanks for carving out some time for me. So before we get started, I just wanted you to give yourself a brief introduction and let everybody know just exactly who is School Stacks.
I'm a producer, engineer, and DJ. So I'm usually working on music 24/7 for my artists. And I co-own a media company with my best friend. So we just create all day, basically. Creating and traveling is what I'm doing 24/7.
Mhm. So what made you decide that you wanted to get into producing and engineering and things like that, all the way to the point where you decided to start a media company?
My dad got me into production first, and then from there I went to college for engineering. And my dad was also a DJ too, so um, it's just stuff that I seen growing up. And then actually after he passed, I wound up having a dream, and he told me to switch from just music to a media company with my partner because basically what we do all day anyways is just making sure that if it's a videographer or just stuff that we don't do, we always know the people to get for our artists to have our stuff. So it's like we kind of media company anyways. We just didn't see it like that. And after I woke up from that dream, me and my partner talked about it, and we started just getting the move to make it happen. And I honestly think that was the best decision I ever made in my career. So that's really what made us turn into a media company. We do stuff on the side as far as like artwork and graphic motions ourselves. So it's just
Mhm.
something we couldn't get away from anyways, I guess.
So your dad was very instrumental in playing a part in you making your decision, and you said it was the best decision. So which one do you enjoy? Do you enjoy just strictly producing, or do you just like the whole media umbrella?
Um, I feel like passion wise, I love the production the most, but um, when I really looked at it last year as like a whole package together, it didn't start taking off the way I needed to until I looked at it like that. So I
Mhm.
say you can have your stuff that you have fun doing, but unfortunately, until you like make it make sense for a mass crowd of people,
Mhm.
I don't think it would have been the same without it. So yeah, I definitely love the production, but the media company is what makes it all make sense.
So when you do your production, what type of beats would you say is like your forte, or like do you model like a Pharrell type beat, or like a Timberland type beat, or Dr. Dre, like you know?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I have my own sound, but of course, everybody's stuff has to make sense of what the sound is in 2025. But
Mhm.
um, I think my signature sound is being multifaceted. Honestly, from what I hear, a lot
Mhm.
of people say that I got a big range of. Okay, you got R&B beats, you got trap beats, you got West Coast beats, you got
Mhm.
just pretty much any sound that I could anything that I think I'm gonna run into, I try to practice it just in case. But as far as like a signature sound specifically, I
Mhm.
think that's the interesting thing about my career. Like I don't have a signature sound, and some OGs that I came up under was telling me that that was a bad thing. But I think with me being more multifaceted and just having multiple bags I can hop in, I'm gonna always have a higher amount of people talking about me or trying to come shop with me. So.
Mhm. So what's the beat making has always been interesting to me.
Mhm.
So what is like so describe the process, because I've seen it, and when I seen it, it was pretty quick. but I know that it probably was edited and stuff like that. So like kind of briefly go through the process of beat making.
I think I would say I wish somebody taught me at the beginning that it's always about the vibe or like what you're trying to achieve. When I first started,
Hmm.
I would just basically get in the car and just drive, honestly. So it's like you got to know where you're going, put your address in the GPS, and before you take off and keep moving. But I say the process first is just finding out what you're trying to achieve. If I don't have an artist in the room with me, 9 times out of 10, I'm making something that I feel. So it actually happened last week where I'm like, I threw 3 beats away, but it wasn't because it was bad. It's just not the mood I was in. It's like I could save it for later, but I already know how that goes. And I just come back and just pick up on like a loose vibe that I had started. But I always try to find like what mood I'm in, or if I'm in the studio with an artist, I'll ask them what's the vibe for the beat. Like, what are you feeling? If you feeling like R&B, rap, or whatever genre you want to that you're trying to achieve. From there, me personally, I have to start with my melody first. A lot of people start with their drums first. I just feel like when I do that, I don't know. I feel like the beat be sounding cheesy to me because I'm just putting melody in the pockets of the drums. But like when I start with my melody, then I just add my stuff on top of it. I can just map it out so much better. So I feel like that's the second process of finding well that's the first step in the process. The second one would be adding your stuff. I would make my beat weird to some people. I start in the middle. So I just add everything at once and then I just spread it out and just arrange the beat. And then if there's an artist in the studio with me, 9 times out of 10 they can point me to direction like, okay, this is gonna be my hook right here, this is gonna be my verse, or
Okay.
do this or do that and just move this that way and pretty much whatever direction they want to go.
Hmm.
And I give it that final listen.
Hmm.
It runs funny for them 2 3 minutes, and I just got to make sure everything good and just export it out. This is a pretty simple process when you break it down like that, but it's just so many. Especially like me being a perfectionist, like I make it more harder on myself. But I'm glad you asked that because it really showed me like it's really not that many steps to it. Be us being perfectionists and just got to make sure everything the way that we want it. Because I feel like the worst thing that really happened to me is having something drop and it go viral, or you get your hit record and you don't really like what you did to what the beat was and stuff. So I feel like recently, within like the last year, I really been trying to make sure everything is perfect, so I don't have to had that feeling again because I'm telling you, it was terrible. Like being in a club, seeing thousands of people turn up to it, and everybody around you grabbing you, like turning you up and stuff. Like this your song, you like, man, I don't like this at all.
But why though? Because interesting enough, I've seen that. Like I think I had saw something on Instagram a couple of weeks ago where Offset. It I don't remember what song it was, but it was produced by Metro,
Hmm.
and he absolutely hated it.
Yeah,
Metro, well, Offset did,
yeah.
and Metro was like, no, no, no. And then I think it ended up becoming one of his biggest songs. I don't even remember.
What's that? Ric Flair drip.
But why? But
Because it's like
not like if
at
you
that
in the
time,
club and it's a beat and you don't like it, but everybody else is like, yo, like that doesn't make you just be like, you know what? I ain't really like this shit at
yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah. It's like sometimes they grow on you, but it's like I think for the example that I'm using, it's more so like it was a mixing thing. It wasn't like I don't
Mm,
like this song. It's just I remember making 5 beats that day, and that was song number 4. I didn't know what was gonna happen with none of the song. I was just cooking just for the fun of it.
mhm,
It got picked up by my OG mentor, DJ No. He's the Colts, Pacers, and Fever DJ,
mm,
and he just DJ Khaled it. He just got me to the studio, found the artist for me, put it together, paid for everything, and he wound up buying was Envy now, but back then it was called Rebel. So
mhm,
when he bought that, now he's spinning in his club, and that's just an easy way for our song to do what it did. So
mhm.
I just for me, I know for sure like that fourth beat, I finished it. My homeboy like, what you about to do now? I'm, like, I'm about to start another one. I'm feeling it. So I started number 5, and on number 5, I learned how to mix piano. So like with a piano, I feel like the little hammer that's inside the piano is what
Mhm.
makes it a percussion. People think that's, I don't know what group they think the piano is, but it's in the percussion. So for me, I like to mix the low end of the piano out so it's
Mhm.
not so thuddy. And I didn't do that for that one. So when that beat first come on, it's like somebody scratching a chalkboard just for that split second when it first come on, because it's like, man, I wish I could just go back and just slide
Mhm.
a little bit to the right and it did. But
Mhm.
that's why I just can't let it, like, sometimes now I sit there and I'm like, okay, I probably should do this and do that. I'm gonna do it later, and then I tell myself do it now because I already know what happened to me before. And then by the time the song moved that fast to where I didn't have time to go back and edit it and stuff. So it's like if I just knocked it out and just did it then, I really didn't know. But it's like after that, now that you know, you can't have it happen again. And
Mhm.
then the same thing I tell my artists in the studio when we're in our sessions, like, are you feeling this? Are you sure? Because if this drop and it hit Apple Music, I'm telling you personally, from personal experience, that it ain't a good feeling. And I really think that's like stuff like that helps me be a successful engineer because my artists have an engineer who don't just record people. Like I actually drop music, like not as an artist, but I do a compilation album with my artist or drop a single with that artist and
Mhm.
produce it and engineer it. So we can relate on that. And just like with deadlines on like to not have your project delayed and stuff. I done went through it trying to release music myself before, so I
Mhm.
know if artists say I need this done with 2 weeks in advance, then I really got to be on it. You think you got more time, and then you release it a week late, like within a week, and now it's delayed and stuff. You got to explain it to your fans. So
Right.
just trying to stay on top of stuff.
So for any producer that may see this or aspiring producer, what in your opinion is the best beat making machine?
Um, I would say I had a beat machine. It's actually called the Machine. It's the Machine MK3, but I got rid of it. It didn't have full integration in the program that I was in at the time. I think about it all the time now because I'm like, they probably didn't. That was like 2020. I got rid of it, so
Mhm.
I'm very sure by now they didn't figure out how to integrate it in the program. But I'll say machine-wise, computer would probably be a MacBook, in my opinion. A lot of people say gaming computers. I say gaming computer just for CPU and stuff. But if you can get a high end MacBook, it'll get you through. So
Mhm.
either that, or if you're looking for an actual like beat machine to produce off of. Me personally, I think the MPC Touch right now is like the top thing out. Just the touch screen, they got the speakers on it. You can hook it up to the computer. You can travel with it, cook up without being connected to anything. So if I had to buy a machine, I probably would buy that before I went and bought another machine, MK3.
Okay. So if you could do as a producer, if you could do a collaboration with another producer, who would that be?
Cardo, that's my favorite producer of all time. His name's Cardo Got Wings. He made all Wiz early stuff, all Currency early stuff. He
Mhm.
actually rapped himself. He threw me off because he can rap his ass off. And
Mhm.
I always wonder, like, I don't do artistry. People always ask me if I ever would. If I did, I would be on the wave that he's on of what he talks about. Like, he just talk about just fly stuff and just producer problems. Like we really be going through it with these artists. So it's like just hearing somebody else like talk about somebody owing them money and trying to run off or something. It's like, man, I go through that too. Like I like that. So I would definitely collab with Bro for anybody else.
What about what about an artist? Like what? So let's do this.
Hmm.
What male rap? What female rap? And what R&B, male and female?
Okay. So rap male wise would be, man, it's like a tie between Larry June and Currency. Currency was my favorite artist from 2009 up until like a lot. Larry came in like 2018, 2019. I'm like, they was half and half at first, but after looking at my Spotify stuff from last year, I'm like, yeah, it would definitely have to be Larry. I love Currency to death, but it's just like I think I relate to Larry more right now. Like he just, I don't know, his favorite color orange like mine. Like I feel more understood with Larry. Like he talks about the stuff that I talk about. females that I either just cool with or used to date, like all say that they'll listen to him without me in the room, like this is something he would do. So I think I would have to pick Larry in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Female wise, I like I can't pronounce her name. The Anasia girl. I want to say at first like somebody like Glorilla or somebody, but it's just like I don't know that she came out of nowhere with her style and her flow. Like my boy put me on there, and I thought she was somebody else. So
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have to be her, just because she on the up and coming, and I think she got more talent than really all of them. For real,
Okay.
I think her name is Anasia. Let's see, you said R&B would be next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
R&B, male wise, I probably would do. Man, that's tough for so many good people. I probably would go. I ain't gonna lie. I'll probably go Tiller just because like
Okay.
that's not my favorite dude, but I really feel like I would be able to bring him back. Like he dropped that last one, that whatever she want, that was good. But it's like from there, I would know. Me personally, knowing what that did for him, I feel like I would. We could give him that run back that he had. Like, 'cause he kicked the shit out of everybody, and then he just let everybody take his sound.
Yeah. Because his first album was very dope.
That was too crazy. Like I remember that coming out, and it made me happy because I'm like, okay, I thought R&B had to sound like this, and at the time I wasn't too like musician heavy. I was just a lot of digital stuff. So I was thinking like, man, can I hang with R&B? And he came out with the trap soul. I'm like, there it is. Like I make hard trap beats. I just got to make my instruments like moody or just inspirational instead of just like what I was working on at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
I would probably go Tiller for R&B. Female wise, Summer. Like I like Summer. One of my partners actually made the Heart of a Woman. Like it was just him by himself. My shout out my boy Tavares Jordan out in North Carolina, man. He out there going crazy. We when he dropped it and everything came out, I was like, man, congrats. Like I don't have too many people like outside of my small circle that I can get on Instagram and hype them up. So something big like that, I was, hey, I'm proud of you. Keep going. This, blah, 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 blah. And he wound up hitting me back with, yeah, she locked in now. She want to do a project. She want to do this, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, good.
Send me whatever you got. And showing love is what got me an opportunity to be able to send him stuff that can get to her.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing them comment back and forth to each other. So they locked in. So I don't
So
have
in advance, I'm gonna congratulate you on that because she gonna
to appreciate
work with you too. So don't let
it.
got you.
That's the goal. And it's honestly like, in my opinion, it's like if you can just find the people that's around them and talk to them and
Mhm.
just get in that way, even just finding the engineer and sending him beats, like just
Mhm.
me being an engineer and providing beats to the session, like my artist, if I'm wondering if what would happen if I came with like another person's beats to my session, like somebody I know though, and gave them to my artist, like, yo, I think you should check this out. I'm very sure they're gonna listen to it and rap on it because I said to do it. Like he not putting his own beats out there. Like let me just see what he's talking about. So I'm very confident knowing I could make it happen. This is like my realistic year where I'm shooting for the stars, man. Like anybody who big, they respond. I don't know what's going on. I only got like I'm under 6,000 followers, but it's like they respond. I don't know how. Like probably not the credits or the credits in my bio. Like okay, you work with this person, this person, this person. But before I put it in there, I definitely was getting left on red a lot. So
Wow.
it'd be like that though. It got a million people hitting them up, probably saying the same thing. So I don't be mad or nothing.
Well, it's good that you don't those things don't discourage you because
Mm-hmm.
it can be like that sometime
Yeah,
and one of the discussions that I've had with a lot of people that sit with me is it's like you get on here no matter what your thing is and you try to do something positive but it's not received as well as maybe like a crash out or somebody doing something crazy or whatever. So
yeah.
you know
It
us
gets frustrating sometimes, but it's like with your character though, you can't if you known for being one thing, Like you can't. It throw people off, and that affects your business. So I get in my mood sometimes where I just be like, man, I'm just frustrated. Just really just be like unprofessionalism is what get me to crash out on the ground. But
Mhm.
that was like the last 2 weeks of the year. Last year is like people really saw my human side, and people calling, checking up on me, making sure I'm good. I'm like, I'm human, bro. I'm getting mad. I'm just finally showing y'all that I get upset too. So,
Mhm.
but what I learned though is that I lost a couple connections, a couple people that I thought I had interest in, but it be like that though. It's like I'm mad. Y'all don't know me. First off, y'all just met me on the ground, and
Mhm.
it is what it is. I'm just kind of embarrassed, but it's like at the same time, it's like it gotta happen. Like if you've never let it out and you just letting that just build up, eventually it's gonna happen. The longer you wait, the worse it's gonna look. So.
So let's talk about that for a second, because that's another thing. Because you said you watched all day, and
Mhm,
I'm not really sure because I pick and choose who I have this conversation with. But since
mhm,
you're talking about it,
mhm,
let's talk about mental health.
mhm.
Um, because it's always important. Because as I've always said, we don't
Right.
deal with it properly.
Yes.
So by you saying, okay, well, I've lost some connections, I had a crash out moment,
Mhm.
this, that, and the third. So going forward, what are some of the things that you have done or will do to prevent those crash out moments? And how likely is it now that you would let these things build up to the point where it is a crash out?
Um, I say for me, now that I think about it, I just gotta call my best friend. My right hand man is the funniest motherfucker to walk this earth. Anything funny, like it could be the worst stuff, and we're gonna laugh at it. We've been best friends. We cousins, so you can't even count us as friends. But I'm only 4 months older than them, and our grandmas are sisters. So
Mhm.
really, just calling him, and we got this thing where I could be going through it, and he just called me to check up on me, and he don't even know like I really was just gonna crash out. But he'll tell me about myself, and that's the number one thing I appreciate and love for him because like we know it's out of love, and he can say whatever it is, and I ain't gonna take it to heart. We ain't gonna fight about it. It's like I'm gonna usually listen to it because he 9 times out of 10 usually right because he know me. So him getting like some type of common sense, he'll always stop me from crashing out on Instagram though. Always, I be calling it, boy, I'm about to post this and fuck these niggas and this blah blah blah. He, nah, man, like think about the brand, like that's gonna damage the brand. And I'm like, you right, like I can't crash out like that. But at the same time though, that building up for a minute it's gonna happen. If you like that and you around people all day long and you really an introvert but you extroverted in ways, it's like you gonna blow the hell up. So I say to prevent it happening again would be to I won't say it won't happen again. It's just like from what I know from what happened last year, like them connections was some good connections. And then one situation was a dating type situation where I don't know if we ain't really make it that far into talking in like and getting serious about stuff. But it's like just heard just straight up tell me like I'm cool. Like I think we should just be cool. Like you it cringed me out. Like you was on there crashing out, and like I still don't have no regret for it. But it's just like I get what you're saying, but you don't know me though. Like
Yeah.
you haven't met me in that sense before, and if you really knew me, then you would know that I'm not really crashing out. It's like I'm just having a moment. But I feel like the position I'm in this year is completely different than last year. Like that first week of the year and the second week, like some crazy stuff happened and set me up right where the hell I needed to be. So I feel like I get a second chance at life, and I gotta really think strategically this year. Like it's so
Mhm.
many people watching me, and really, in my opinion, like from what I've known and from what I see and feel, like people waiting on me to fuck up. Like they want me to crash out and ruin it all. So
Mhm.
doing that and knowing that people are just trying to do that, I just gotta be smart and just stay level headed and just stay within my group of people that I'm with every day. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And that's important because you're not the first person that I've heard say, I wonder what it is about 25 that has everybody feeling like, and I'm not saying like, oh, it's cliche because everybody,
Mhm.
this year is my year, but I've heard it a lot this year. Um,
Mhm.
like a lot. Like everybody feels like this is the year of elevation. Um, do you know why? Do you like, is there something like, is there something in the aura this year that's saying?
I I just think it's just we went through so much bullshit last year. Like everybody went through shit last year, especially how it ended. Like for me, I feel like everybody was fucked up. Like cat financial wise,
Yeah.
it wasn't that cold yet, but it's just like it's just what it is with this daylight saving and winter time and stuff. So I feel like people just had enough, and then it's just so much stuff politically that then went down. Like I really feel like especially our people, the black people, I feel like we more woke than ever right now, and we really realize that like it's all on us. Like you can't really sit here and blame nobody else. It's on you. You gotta if you want the best year ever, you have to personally take it upon yourself to do everything you need to do to make that happen for you. So
Yeah.
I think for me personally, it was funny because like I literally felt it like within like a week. Like
Mhm.
it was the last week of the year, and then as soon as New Year hit, it's like I just felt different. Like it do feel cliche because you're trying to force yourself to think of a new year, but it's like it just feel like it's so much potential that could happen with this year. Like
Mhm.
even with you and Drew hit me up the same day. Honestly, you hit me first, and then later that I had just woke up and checked the timestamps. I was like, okay, so a couple hours later, Drew hits me up with some stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm cool with how I got the red print was probably one of my biggest things last year, but it's like I was done. I'm like, okay, they got another magazine coming out this year. Like, good for them, man. I'm gonna support, I'm gonna share, and all that. But
Mhm.
like, I'd be greedy to think that I can do it again. And you're like, yeah, man, I need you to do this for this thing. I don't want to put his stuff out there, but it's like for what he asks, I'm like, this is crazy, 10 times better than last year. So I'm
And I
like,
was gonna touch on that Red Print magazine.
mm-hmm,
Congratulations, number one. Um,
appreciate it. Congratulations to you too. That was the best part was just talking to everybody who was in there. Like it felt like we was in a big ass yearbook. Like the yearbook of the city is how I told my grandma about it.
so how did that? Because I know how it made me feel, and everybody that is connected to him in some way, I always give him his flowers because I owe it to him. And I don't know him. We just met on X. I told him what I was doing, and he was like, "All right, bet I got you." And that's how it's been. And you were definitely one of the people that he brought to me last year. So maybe it was during the crash out that you up and you was like, "Here, Jules." so,
No,
so-
I definitely got to. Yeah, I'm gonna agree on that. It was like my views went higher. I'm like, y'all like this? Like, I can't, man. I can't. My best friend called me saying he cringed and disappointed. I'm like, man, I gotta calm down. But
I didn't even see it. Just to
okay, man. I'm thinking you saw. I'm like, please. So,
I didn't see the crash out, but I
yeah.
was so now that you're saying it, I'm like maybe that was the reason why you were ignoring me because
No. No. I ain't never. Really, to be honest, that first day when you hit me up, like that first day of the year, I didn't wake up till like it had to be at least 5 or 6 in the evening. Like, I'm like, I don't know what happened. I partied that night and I woke up late. So when as soon as I woke up and seen that, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure I respond to her and do that. No, with the time where I was where we were trying to find a date and all that stuff, I was moving studios. So I'm like.
Mhm,
I can't believe when I read the message. I'm like, how did you forget about the interview? I'm like, it was that crucial. Like that move was
mhm.
very, very crucial. So, yeah, I'm in the booth I'm in Studio B's booth right now. So, got the backdrop behind me is giving me some ideas for a couple of my artists. So, like, it's actually cool back there.
Well, I understood. Like I don't never take it personal because
Yeah.
I don't know you all, and I don't know what your lives entail. So
It's good. It's good. Like same thing. If I was to reach out and you hit me up, like I would be the same way. Like yeah, she got to be on something. Like, you very busy.
so, but the red print though,
Mm-hmm.
how did that impact you in your career?
I think first and foremost, like I didn't meet Drew until he came and dropped my magazine off. So I feel like he really trying to plug my computer in real quick. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he bought a beat when I lived in LA, and I think he I don't know. He just like it's some people that God made that show like crazy amounts of love to where you be confused on like, well, like what you want, man? Like, what do you need from me? Like, I hate that I'm like that. Like, messing with Drew really helped me realize that I'm really a transactional person. Like, if you show me some love or you doing something for me, like I feel like I gotta do something back for you. Like, I can't just let you just get me together and I can't get you together. So I sold him the beat. I lived in LA and all them years, man, he would just tag me. I'm like, what is this ghost page? Like, what is this ghost official page? Like, I'm trying to find out like who bro. I'm like, oh, that's bro from the. Okay, okay, I get it. But
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was from LA. Though, like he not okay. He just like me. He moved back and forth. Like okay, and we just stayed on that, and he just always stayed in contact and just showed love over the years. He got the magazine. We did a digital version of it that just alone, just the digital thing was huge for me, and just how that blew my page up last year, and then it disappeared, and I was wondering like what happened, but I know him like he always doing something. So when it disappeared, probably like 2 weeks later, he hit me up and was like, "Yeah, I had to take your digital version down off Instagram because I'm gonna actually print you up in the magazine." I'm like, "What the hell? A magazine? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
dope." So I heard from what he said originally was supposed to be just all the models, and then me and I think like another artist were like only two musicians that was supposed to be in there, and then we did the digital version. A lot of people hit him up, and he just saw fit to just make it one big thing. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, how it impacted my life. I think the best moment of last year was taking the magazine home to Fort Wayne. Like I came for Thanksgiving. I actually thought I forgot I had it on me in my book bag. I was just caught in the moment to see my people again. And when I came back home, they was like, "Man, you ain't show it to us. When you come back, you gotta just bring it
Mm-hmm.
home." And so I went up there. My grandma picked it up. She read it. I never sat. I had the time to sit down and look at everybody's stuff. So we looked at it from the first page to the last page, and seeing all the people I know or who my artists or who I done worked with, explaining to them like who she is. And then we finally get to my section and she's saying stuff like, dang, like you got the biggest section. Like it's just you and another producer. Y'all got your own section, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like you got the most pages out of all the things. I'm like, I ain't never think about it like that because I'm not in competition with nothing. I'm proud of everybody that's in there.
Right.
But when she said stuff like that, I'm like, man, this is like the craziest shit ever. Like I never would have thought a magazine, that's different. It's like everything else that I got, like I hustled and got it, but the magazine was the last thing that just caught me all the way off guard. That's
Mm-hmm.
stuff you as a kid pick up stuff in a barbershop, like damn, I want to get in double XL or something one day.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. That's step one for me. So, and then we're gonna double back and do what we're gonna do this year. So that's even that. That's another level that I for surely didn't see either. So I'm excited, man. I love Drew to death. It's what the city need. Is what I keep telling him. Like it's not too many people that's trying to build a platform for people. Everybody wants the platform for themselves. So for
Yeah.
him to have it on there, I'm very sure somebody probably had to convince him to put a page of him in there. Like, see,
Yeah. Right. Right.
he's so selfless. Like that's my man's man. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was my favorite moment of last year. Like from all the good stuff that happened, just from seeing everybody else that's in there and just being able to congratulate them. I
Mm-hmm.
got this weird thing where somebody can show me some love, and I'm gonna flip it back on them so it don't like have the attention on me. So that's so fun. Like just seeing everybody congratulate. No, man, congrats to you. You in there too. Like
Yeah.
you ain't got in the one section. No, forget that, man. You in the magazine. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's what black people do. I'm trying to get like you. I'm trying to catch up to you. So I definitely appreciate Drew and everything. And I wish the best for him and everything he got coming, man, for sure.
So let's talk about the DJ side of things.
Hmm.
Let's say you DJ too as well. How often do you DJ?
I think I DJ now. from July. Okay, I guess I started in 23 was every weekend, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with
Mm-hmm.
the clubs, and then I eventually got tired in like October. I felt like it was taking me away from the studio. I was behind on work. I never had beats for my artists and stuff, so I
Mm-hmm.
put my turntables up from like I want to say right before Halloween all the way to June 7th. I did an event for Top View Media, and that got me back outside. And then from there, July all the way till maybe Black Friday was my last show last year. So from July all the way to Black Friday, I was booked at least once a week, but like really at max it was like 4 or 5. So like 5 days out the week. This year is looking like there's only 2 things every week so far that I've been doing. Is a music showcase and a music review is what we working on for the studio right now. So that's it's looking like every Sunday and Wednesday, if not every other week. So I'm got a meeting with them after we get done with this to figure out like exactly where we want to take everything or what we're gonna do. So at this point, it's at least 2 times a week though. I just start telling myself that last night, like
Mm-hmm.
body preparation and just mental and scheduling. I'm just accepting at least 2 times a week
Mm-hmm.
just for my back, really. And it's crazy to say that because I mean I'm getting older. But it's just standing up for that long, and then some people give me short tables, and I'm kind of tall, so I gotta like hunch over a little bit, and it's just one spot in my back where I can get it massaged out, but I can definitely re-aggravate it again with the wrong booking. So I'm telling myself, you need to stretch, you need to buy what massage guns, whatever you got to do, you got to make it happen this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
I'm not gonna let age stop it.
how do you enjoy that compared to uh, producing and all the other stuff you do under your audio visual?
I love DJing so much. It's crazy because like growing up, I hated it, and even 23, I damn near hated it. 24 was the year that made it make sense though. I started thinking of what I tell my friends. We use a lot of basketball references for our conversations, but once I start thinking of my work as a producer, engineer, and DJ as a triangle offense or just a triangle period. Like it was like productions at the top of the triangle,
Mm-hmm.
engineering was at the bottom, and then the DJ would be on the other side, and they all coincide with each other. So when I'm making my beats in a session, well, when I book a session, they'll come to the studio and ask for beats, and then they'll also be like, "Hey, I know you DJ. Let me book you for an event outside." And then when I'm outside, people
Okay.
say, I need you for the studio session. You to do that, be in the studio on time. And then I need these too. So I'm like, okay, once I start thinking of them all as like one and just using them as like a cycle, it just made it all make sense. So DJing was like the number one thing that I could feel like just pieced it all together. So I think for me personally, it's just I'm real humble with everything I do. So this is my personal opinion. Why I think people think it's that important is the fact that you can be in the studio with me. I'll make you a beat. I can record the song, lace the hell out the vocals, and then take you to one of the clubs or events that I DJ at, and can spend it at a club for you. So as an artist,
Hmm.
I'm an artist. I'm picking him every time. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think
Like a one-stop shop, like.
it's just right there. You ain't got to chase 3 people for 3 different things. So it's me personally, I think is that because I it made me think about it because it's when I start taking the bookings, it's like the more all it takes is for one person to see that I do it, and then
Mm-hmm.
they're booking me for a DJ event, and then I look up, I'm in a club or somewhere that I always want to be in, or a festival like Trees I never went to and got
Mm-hmm.
back to that last year and was just like, wow, like that's my first time going to the event. I'm booked, so I think a lot of it last year was just like it was this the period at the end of the sentence. It's like you got everything going on, but it's like man, just that last piece. But just even with the DJing though, it flipped it from the production and the engineering. I feel like it kind of made it make more sense with the DJing because it's like I ride for my artists heavy. So it's like if I'm talking my shit on the ground about how I got the best artists, and if I'm a DJ and I don't spin these artists,
Mm-hmm.
kind of backwards. So I
Right.
think for me, it takes a person like me, if it's not going to be me, to put it on, put the Midwest on, or just art. our state if that's what we focusing on. But it takes a person who's gonna have to be selfless. Uh, I'm not an artist, so I can't really do too much. So I think it got to be somebody who's willing to do those three things. But as a DJ, not be scared to put your skin out there to play a local artist. So last I'm tweeting, I'm talking shit like local artists, like DJs, y'all ain't playing the locals, man. What y'all? It's like, yeah, like if you was like that, you could
Right.
blend it with anything. And once I start hearing, I'm like, I don't say nothing unless I truly believe I will go through it myself. So for me, I'm like, man, I sneak my best friend in every single lineup I've ever done, just to see. Like, it's just usually it's us in the studio together, but it's like when I'm out by myself and I'm booking and I'm just by myself, it helps me in the studio again. Like, okay, they fucked with this one. Like, let's go back and
Right.
redo whatever we need to do, and we're gonna drop this. It's kind of like an experiment thing. We don't have to drop music for us to like know which one is which. We go to the clubs and we play it that way. And if it don't, it ain't for him. It ain't never not hit. Like his shit's hard. But if I but experiment and put other people's stuff out there, I would know like what I need to fix based off the crowd's response. So I
So
definitely. I
have you?
definitely. You
Oh,
said
I'm sorry.
no. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you ever made a beat right for an artist? Then you went to go do a booking and you dropped it, and
Hmm.
it was like,
Like that wasn't really it. Not really, just because I don't want to hype us up, but like we really, with us having a media company, it's like there's really no way you could lose. Like if it looked cool enough to
mhm,
jump off, like the way we make our stuff. I'm Adobe certified, so when I create things, like it just for some reason just jump off the page, or just a motion graphic, or just how sharp the quality is when you look
right.
at it. I think it grabs people's attention, and we make our own beats, so we like the beats are gonna hit 9 times out of 10. And the artist that I pick is like, man, I don't know if it's God like just putting it together for us, or if they, I mean, they're talented, but it's just like just the way it go together. I don't believe in luck, but it's just like, man, like how does this keep hitting 100% of the time? Like I never really dropped a song like, nope, that wasn't it. Like
Mhm.
they ain't like that one. Usually if we drop it, it's like, okay, we have so many songs, so the ones we do pick to drop, people really rock with it because it's, I don't know. I think if it moves us, then we know it's good, and it's hard to move us with music now. So if we impressed by it, 9 times out of 10, the average music listener gonna like it too. But then again, like having a media company behind you that's pushing it and doing it, it looked too official. It's like,
Mhm.
I mean, at least check it out. And if
Right.
nobody like it, then everybody opinion to themselves, but ain't nobody made it known that they didn't like it.
Right. Right.
I hope they keep it real because, like, man, you could say whatever. You ain't gonna get mad. I like stuff like that. If somebody would say this is trash, man, it would give me so much fuel to
Mhm.
go and do it again. But me personally, I've never heard somebody say that's a trash beat. They always say like it's hard, but it's not the one I'm
Okay.
looking for. But, like to have a 16, 17-year plus career and nobody say that not once, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what's up. So if you, so I know you said you look out for the locals, but so
Hmm.
let's just say an artist comes that it's not your artist.
Hmm.
Like, do you charge them to drop their music, or you just do a solid because you look out for people?
I usually do a solid for real. I think it depends on the energy for real, because it's like I think really when I first moved to Nap in like 2015, 16, I want to say I was with my artists all the time, and I just would see different approaches to approaching the DJ and getting their music played. Some
Mhm.
people went up there disrespectful and had to pay, and then some people went up there cool and had their stuff played. I'm like, oh, that was easy. I really thought it was so hard to get stuff played in the club.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if somebody come up to me with the right energy, like especially these music reviews that we'd be having going on, or the showcases and stuff. Like
Mhm.
I don't mind it at all. Like
Okay.
I remember I did Treese and my boy Kamari Drake performed. I met him through Treese, and I've been a fan of his music since. And after Treese, he walked up, his eyes bulging out his face, like, "You have any artists that you want to play local?" I'm like, "Yes, bro." Like, I don't know if he thought that I would say no, or like if I'd just be an asshole about it or what. I'm like,
Mhm.
hell yeah, like, I fuck with your music and your stage presence that you just showed, but your music is I'm about to follow your Spotify and add it myself. So
Mhm.
I play it just for fun, honestly. Like if the artist is good enough, and especially if it's like I feel like if we do have hit records in the city, the DJ's got to be more on it than pushing it out there. If you didn't seen 200-300 pages posting a song, it'd probably be smart for you to put that in your mix.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because some people like when they are in these positions as you are,
Mm.
it's almost like a power trip.
No, for real.
You
That
know what I mean? So it's like you want me to play this, then this what you got to do, and I just don't feel like. And then I'll be watching all of these music documentaries from back in the day.
yeah,
You see just like how easy it was for them to either go to the
yeah.
radio station or wait outside for the VJ to come out and then,
Right.
hey, listen to this, and then next thing you know what I mean. So why can't
That's
we?
when talent was like that though. Like the talent spoke for itself, and
Yeah.
it's like, and it was less saturated then. Like you
Mhm.
had less people doing that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, when I moved to LA, I remember I was on the phone with my brother. I was just walking in Hollywood, and I
Mhm.
just like seen this shaded area, and I just sat down. I'm like, he like, where you at? I'm like, I don't know. Let me back up from under this roof. I'm like, Capitol Records. Like I'm sitting right in here. I could probably like walk in there, right, and just give him like our boy CD or something. He probably be on, right? He's like, nah, man, they get like 80 people submissions a day, and then like just stuff that I hear from my OG like record exec friends and stuff. They talk about they get hundreds of stuff a day, and they just throw it away. And you have time to even listen to it. They just throw it straight away because it's just so much to go through. And it's like, man, it's kind of stupid though, because it's like I never understood that. Like the A&Rs are getting so much more lazier now. They don't want to travel and find the talent. They want to find people like me who got 400 plus personal artists that you work with on top of your Instagram and stuff, and just hit me up. Before the pandemic, they would hit me up like once a week. Yo, what's new this week? Like what artists you got popping or what's
Mhm.
this? I'm like, you don't want to go do your homework yourself and go find it. But I'm gonna plug you because I'm trying to get on and stuff. So, but still, like I think it was just less saturation and more talent then.
Yeah. So who are the people? I know you quite a few times during the interview. You've mentioned your OG.
Hmm.
So before we go, like who are the people around you that inspire you to be
My
who
boy just walked in. I'm just, she said, "My people who inspired us." Like, yep, every day him, but he introduced me to his uncle, which is my OG that I was saying that earlier. That really just took me under his wing and really just showed me how to first and foremost show me how to drop music through like how to get your stuff to a DJ as a producer was the
you.
smartest advice he gave me when I was younger because he like man you just gonna run your royalties up so much better. Like he the one who taught me about the DJ package, like the instrumental, the dirty, the clean, the radio version, the R&B version, the house version,
Mhm.
the reggae version. Like just have a multiple export multiple versions of these, and
Mhm.
especially as an engineer too. And you'll never believe like how far it'll take you. So me doing that is what introduced me to all the other DJs like Strict or like just all the big household name DJs, especially the younger ones. So I
Right.
I think for them they it's kind of unique because it's like they saw me in a club as a producer and
Mhm.
trying to just network with them, and then
Mhm.
like Strick always showed me love. I walk in the club, he shut up, scoobstacks, spotlight hit me and stuff. I'm like, yo, like people look around like, who is that? I'm like, you feel me? Like that's a good way. He helped me find myself with even that. Like, okay, this is what you do. They show you love, salute them, or go up there and shake up with them and stuff, and do that. But now that you see me in the same clubs that y'all DJing, it's
Mhm.
kind of like, oh yeah, like of course it just makes sense. Like he's in the studio all the time. He DJ. He keep getting booked. So obviously, got to be pretty damn good. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's like the most unique version. But my OG is DJ No. That's for sure the number one. I needed like I you would have never knew you needed somebody till you met him, and just what I needed. My dad passed in 2011, so I need older OG advice over me because a lot of the younger people my age don't really ask for advice. Well, them don't ask for advice. They don't give game though. Like they
Mhm,
just want to know how I'm doing it. So my OGs
mhm,
remind me of my dad. They get on my ass. They
mhm.
tell me how it is. They don't sugarcoat nothing. It's just straight cutthroat energy. And he ain't never spared me from no type of talk that I needed to have. If I'm clowning and doing stupid stuff, he gonna pull me to the side and like, yo, this
Yeah,
ain't you. Or
yeah. It's
do
very
this instead.
yeah. It's important to have those kind of people in your life. So if you so before we wrap this up, again want to thank you for coming on and being your true authentic self.
Mhm.
Again, congratulations in advance on everything that's going to happen for you this year. And if anybody was to ask you some keys to success,
Mhm.
what would you say?
Mm, tough because it's like it's so many keys you could give, but I say number one, man, you gotta keep God in your lives, man. Y'all gotta keep Him first. Uh, everything that happened to me, I mean, everything that happened to me happened because how I changed my mindset. I lost my dad. I ain't take it out on the world. I ain't go shoot up churches or go do nothing. Like I asked my grandma why. She told me God take people away from you to get you closer to Him, even if it's a person or just whatever it is that's distracting you from Him. He'll take it unrelentlessly. I truly believe that's what happened with my dad, and that kind of made me. I ain't had no choice but to lean on him because I'm like, man, I ain't got my dad. I woke up that next morning like, damn, I never thought this could be like this. So uh, I poured everything I had into him because I didn't have a choice, and I was so scared and confused. So with that, I feel like I lost my dad, but I got the world in return. Uh, it ain't nothing that's gonna replace that, but it's just like that love that I'm missing from my dad. Like I get that, magazine articles or interviews like this, or just
Mhm,
being able to walk in our own studio right now. It's just crazy to even say that this is our shit.
mhm,
Like, this is crazy. So I feel like you keep him first and you tell other people about him, that's like the main way he gonna get you together. So I say whatever it is that you scared about or that you truly want, whether it's something that you fear or something that you want, if you
mhm,
pray, he gonna give it to you if it's meant for you. And the mindset that you get over so many years of doing that is knowing that when something's for you and when it ain't for you. By the time I don't get what I want, I ain't want it anyways and realize it's not for me.
mhm,
So everything that I truly wanted and needed for my life, he gave it to me tenfold. So I say keep them first, but on the other side, prayer only works if you are in motion. I feel like if you pray and you just stay stagnant, then it kind of like is a punishment for him. Like, man, you supposed to be moving
mhm,
in my light and my faith and my your belief in me, and you just sitting there just waiting for me to give it to you. So I feel like just pray and just work your ass off every day. Last year was when the ball dropped last year. I'm coming off the best year of my life, I thought, in 23, and was thinking, like, how can I make 24 the best thing too? But all I really did was the same formula. I just thought to myself, let me just do this 365 days in a row as hard as I can
mhm,
every single day, and let me just see how far this shit takes me. And
mhm,
now, once again, the best year of my life. So now we in 25, and what I've been calling is a three-peat. I'm trying to three-peat. I ain't never had three phenomenal years back to back. Maybe one, maybe two, but not three in a row. Like that's the only thing I've been thinking of, and it is not like a luck thing because I don't believe in it. It's just my mindset of taking it serious every day and doing what's the right thing for God and for just humanity is what makes it the best year ever. Because what you get back in return is that stuff from that. So, and that's what creates it and give you that emotion, make you think that's the best year ever. So,
mhm.
I say just pray, keep God first, and stay in motion. Don't get stagnant.
Yeah, and I do appreciate how supportive you are, especially when it, like you said, when it comes to your artist, or if you're out DJing, it's nothing for you to throw on a record or nothing like that. So I appreciate that type of stuff because it's so hard these days. Just
Mm-hmm.
you know. But again, I wanted to say thank you and congratulations. And I wanted to, if anybody wanted to get in touch with you for any type of reason, how would they be able to do that?
You can all
As
my.
far
I try to
as
keep. You said what?
as far as your platforms, your social media platforms, and things.
Okay, yeah, my all my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter's the same. It's scoobstacks, SCOOBSTACKS, and Spotify would be scoobstacks, Apple Music. Um, I believe I just my Snapchat too. Everything is scoobstacks, and you can hit me up on there. Please DM me, call me, text me, whatever you need. I'm looking for as much work I can get into this year, so I ain't really shying away from pretty much, and I'm not hard to find either. So,
Do you have a website where you sell beats?
yep, it's scoobonatrack.net.
Okay.
So if y'all want to shop on there and do all that, that's my website link and all that. But I appreciate you showing me love. Like if anything, like I just I don't know. I think when people DM you randomly, they don't really realize like the other side of it. So just knowing what your platform was and how I loved it. Like I really expected not nothing different. Not to say that it was bad, but it's just like
Mhm.
from what I expected, just more like my friends really who put the bug in my head, like, what a man podcast? We should be asking like relationship type questions or what? I'm like, I don't know what to expect, but it's like I enjoy everything about it, and on my end, just getting hit up like that was the boost I needed for this year. For real, I'm so serious. If you and Drew didn't hit me up that day, it ain't no telling like what type of year this would have been for me. Like as far as like starting it off. So I'm like, I fall asleep, I partied the night before, I forgot all about work. It's 6 o'clock when I wake up. I'm looking at it like, man, magazine and interview again. Like we back to where we left off, man. Like you
Mm.
ain't missed a beat. So that gave me some. It was a good confidence booster.
Well, never, ever, because if you watched my episode from last week with Actor Mike, and we did touch on this briefly, like why are we still talking about relationships in 2025?
Right.
I don't want to talk about it. So,
I'm like, I'm cool. And it's funny because I said my OG, he was the first interview I ever had, and
mhm.
I came to the radio station and he asked me a relationship question like, "You got any special person out there?" I'm like, "Damn, I don't know how to answer," so I said no. And as soon as I said no, I got hundreds of DMs and texts like from girls from college and stuff like, "Oh yeah, like that." I'm like, "All right, bet." So the next one, I'm like, "Yeah, the last one you did, like this time no relationship." So yeah, this time, man, like in a relationship now, like I just said, don't do it again. But now I knew to just say, yeah, just not. I ain't have to go into details. That was my first ring around there. It's like that's I don't have a problem with it. I'm gonna answer it, but it's like knowing that is gonna be other people watching it and seeing it. So it's
Yeah, and plus it gets away from
right, right.
about,
Hmm.
because in short, like I said last week, we had a conversation about this, and it's always the same shit. Who pays the bills in the house? Don't tell me. We not splitting the bills 50-50, and
Yeah,
who cares?
yeah.
Like you're supposed to do. Here's the answer, and this is I said this last week. Here's the answer to all of this. You do what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's Cheesecake Factory, then Cheesecake Factory it is. If it's Applebee's, then it's Applebee's. If it's
Yeah,
King, then that's what it is.
yeah.
If it's 50-50, then that's what it is.
That's just what works for y'all. Everybody's formula gonna be different.
Right. So there's the answer.
And
Can we
then
go?
not everybody make the same amount of money, you know? You'll probably look better than the next person. So it's like you have to pick what you gotta deal with.
Right.
You broke and good looking or somebody who's good looking. But yeah, I definitely appreciate everything though, for
No
sure.
problem at all. So again, like I said, for the third time, thank you. I appreciate it. And now anything that you do, make sure I get the tag so I
Mhm.
can support you.
No, for sure. You know
Same
I'm
way
gonna
you
support you
support
too.
me. So
Yep, I definitely appreciate it. Hit me up anything you need. I'm gonna send you my number too, because I barely be on the gram and stuff, so we can text and get stuff together.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up and I'm gonna say good night and thank you everybody for joining me on this episode. I'm signing off. I am your host, Tyna Shell, and this is Scoob Stacks. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Hey y'all, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Want to know more about Scoob Stacks? Well, you can follow him on Instagram and all social media platforms at Scoob Stacks. You can also read about him in the 2024 edition of Red Print Magazine. Just go to www.redprintmagazine.com. Thanks for watching. See y'all next week. Bye.